Okay, good evening to you all. Today is 20 January 2025, which marks the beginning of our week 11 of this graduate IT employability skills bootcamp. And I'm going to say that this is also the first week after your field survey. So welcome back from the survey. I believe you have learned, no matter how little, I don't know. I believe you have learned some things during the survey. And yeah, we'll discuss about that, not today, but we'll discuss about that because today I want us to talk about something else. Okay, so like always, we start by showing our outlines. That is what we are to cover for the entire week. So today, week 11, uh, let's see the outlines. We'll have a recap on week 9 and 4. Yeah, we'll just look at some things, few things related to week 9 and also week 10. And then today we are going to talk about data visualization. That's what we are starting uh, today. We are going to talk about that. And also we'll have question and answer, conclusion, and then we call it a day. So week 9, I believed what you have done is if formula, that what you treated week 9 before your, what do you call it? Before your field survey. So, week 9, throughout week 9, you did your data collection, which I believe you didn't hold any class last week, and today we resumed. So, yeah, I saw some of the pictures of some of you that went to the field to do the data collection uh, throughout the week, and that's great. And I wish them all the best because what you're going to learn is something that nobody uh, can teach you that. Nobody can put the words in your mouth. You are the one to learn it and you are the one to see it by yourself, what you have learned. The experience will be there for you. So, today we are going to, what we are going to discuss about, like I said, today we are going to talk about data visualization. We'll talk about the data visualization. I want you to have the experience of the data visualization to know what data visualization is all about so that uh, I'm not going to start the visualization today with you because I know there are some few formula that functions that you have not treated, but I'll try my best to see that I take you through some few functions that I want you to learn, and you have the overview and experience of this data visualization. And then I'll take you through I will also talk about data analysis, which I believe some of you, we can go there and start doing it before we come next week to talk about the visualization of the data itself. So before I talk about this data visualization, let me just take you back a little bit that whenever you want to visualize a data, before you visualize a data, you need to analyze that data. That's number one thing. That's number one process you need to take, or the first process before visualization of the data. So this data analysis is just, the uh, not, I can't say only the statistical analysis of the data, not only that, but it's just for you to bring out the insights about the data, what data entails, what are the things under the data, and how most of the calculation that you need to conduct, the formula you have done are all under this analysis of the data. For example, now I want to know the sum of particular thing. I want to know the average of particular thing. I want to count or know the count blank of a particular data. I want to know the number of this, number of that. So all this are the analysis of the data for you to bring out what the data is trying to say. Like some of the function we are going to treat today are the function that will help you. Maybe I want to know how many people are from Gusau that are participants of this bootcamp, or maybe how many people are from, uh, you know, Kaduna, how many people are from Ikiti, Kanu, Lagos. All that is that's the analysis of the data. You trying to bring out the insights. Now you did data collection. You go to the field, you collect the data, but the data is saying a lot of things, and there is no way you can know what this data is trying to say unless when you know how to bring out the insights. So bringing out the insights of the data is the data analysis. So now today we are not talking about that. The reason why we are not talking about the data analysis is because you learn that. You know how to sum, you know how to divide, you know how to multiply, you know how to find the average, you know how to count, you know how to, there are many things that I know you don't know how to, don't worry. But I know that the beginner level of data analysis, you can be able to do that. And today also I will teach you some, I will add more to that so that when next week we are back to do some things, I believe that you'll be familiar with the data visualization and all what we are going to start next week. We'll start doing the visual, we'll start creating the visualization next week together with you. Okay, so what data visualization is all about is just a graphical representation of the data or of the analysis you conducted about a particular data. So you have this data, you want to have a graphic because data will be in row, the information will be in row the way it is, being it a number, numeric, and whatever data type it can be. The information will be in a row data like that. So if you want to create a graphical representation of that raw data, that's what data visualization is all about. And take note, there is no way you can create graphical representation of data. No way you can create graphical representation of data without analyzing the data, without cleaning the data. That why some of the things you have learned are all part of the data cleaning. Some of the things you have learned. I know that there are things that you didn't do, but it's something that I know you will catch it up later sometimes. So So this graphical representation of that data that you have, the raw data that you have, is what data visualization is all about. So you analyze the data, you clean the data, then you analyze the data, you bring out the insights about the data. Now you are trying to create visualizations, representation of that raw data. You want to create it in an image format. That's why we create graphs. We create graphs or we create infographics, and all that is just to represent the data that we have at hand. So that's what it's all about. That's what visualization is all about. And there are lots of graphs we create during visualization of data. And this graph represents a particular, the graphs represent a particular data. Each graph has a data that it deserved. So it's not only maybe when you saw, okay, this graph is what amuse you, so you're going to use it. No, each graph has its own data, and using that data, you represent the graph with the uh, data. So, so let's see this graphical representation. What are the types of graphs that we have and the data that we're supposed to use to visualize such graphs? So we have a bar chart. I believe all of you know what bar chart is all about. So bar chart can be in a vertical format, but or in horizontal format. Don't worry, don't get confused about the two. So whenever you hear bar chart, it's just a column chart or the normal bar chart that you can call it. So that's what the bar chart is all about. And bar chart, you always use categorical data, that is qualitative data, count of qualitative data to represent the what? The bar chart. For example, now I want to know how many people are from Zamfara, that are from Kanu, that are from Ikiti, that are from whatever. Then I create a bar chart of that particular data showing the number of representatives or number of participants from such state. That's what bar chart is all about. Maybe I want to know the number of people that are interested in in rice, spaghetti, indomie. I want to show that. Then I use bar chart to show the representation of the categorical data of that. So that what bar chart is all about. So whenever you have a categorical data and you want to show a representation or you want to show how the data counts based on the variables within that uh, categorical data, then you use bar chart to show that. So like now, for example, some of the participants that you did, okay, you want to know the how many people have BSc, how many people have MSc, how many people have SSC. Then you use bar chart to show that. So the qualification, proportion of qualification is going to just show maybe BSc 20, SSC 30. You know, that's how it's going to show uh, to you. So that's what the bar chart is all about. Then we have histogram. Histogram, we use it to show a data that a numerical data. And what histogram did for you, it's put histogram put numerical data within a range. It put a represent a quantitative data in the range. For example, now I have salary of people. I want to represent the salary, that is normal salary. I want to represent the salary using histogram. If I represent the salary, histogram will automatically put the entire salary into range for me. So it's going to say maybe if I have the salary, is collecting 10,000, someone 20, someone 30, someone 50, 100, and there are lots of people with the salary, different categories of salary. So if I represent it using histogram, it's going to put it in range for me. Maybe it will say 10,000 to 20,000. It will count the number of people within that range for me. It will say 21,000 to 30. It will count the number of people for me within the range. Automatically, that's what histogram will do for you. So histogram takes single variable. You use single variable to represent, to showcase or to create a graph that has to do with what histogram. And it's always numerical data. Always is a numerical data. Age of people, salary of people, a particular maybe measurement or distance or something like that, or anything that has to do with numerical value, you use that to represent it. And that why I talk about this. Account number, BBN number, all that, don't use this to represent them. Because now you use account number in histogram. How do you want it to put the range for you? It's not going to make sense. It's not going to make sense at all. It will not make sense at all. It's not going to make sense. So this is what histogram is all about. So in your data, any data that you have, that you collect numerical data. Example like age, like I said, you collect maybe the age of presenters or the age of respondents. So you can use this histogram to represent the data, to have the graphical representation of the data. So it will show you the range of the by age. So it will show maybe 20 to 30 is this number, 30 to this is this number, this to this is this number. So that's how it works. Okay, so the next one is the pie chart. Pie charts show the proportionate of a data related to the variables within the data that you have. For example, let me just give you a clear example, gender. You want to know the proportion of how gender made up the whole number of people. Then you can get the percentage. Maybe females are 20%, males are 80%. So unlike the bar chart, whenever you want to know the proportion, how something was made up. Now you don't want to see the count. No, you want to see the representation of the data based on proportion. So what are the proportion? Okay, how many percentage something contribute to make a whole? So then you use pie chart to show that. Pie chart is just like you know how, what do you call it? Um, I don't know. What do you call it? Pizza. You know how pizza looks like when you cut pizza into pieces. So that's how pie chart looks like. You just take the portion. Proportion of that is just a percentage. So that's how pie chart looks like. So there is pie chart now, and there is also donut chart that you can that will help you to showcase such a particular type of data. So take note, whenever you want to show pie chart, make sure you have the data that is in percentage type. Maybe you calculate the percentage. Calculate your percentage, you know the percentage of males, percentage of female, or you know the percentage of representations or representatives based on a particular category of data. Maybe it can be based on qualification, or it can be maybe based on anything that you know that it's going to show the proportion of people. Then you use the pie chart to show that. Another type of graph that we have is the line chart that shows the trend of data over a period of time. So it takes two things. Trend of data over a period of time. So this data also is a comparison of two variables. So one variable must be a time, must be a time. It can be days, it can be a month, it can be year, it can be quarter, it can be anything. It must be a date in a date format. The other one can be just normal data, normal value, qualitative or numerical value. For example, now, uh, I want to see maybe I have a shop and I'm generating revenue every day or every month within my shop, for example. So I want to know the trend of the revenue I generated based on month. I have January, February, March, April, up till December, for example. And I have all the money, 20,000, 500,000, 2 million, 1 million, 300,000, for example, like that. I want to see the trend of how the revenue is moving, the trend of the revenue over this 12 months that I want to see. So it's going to looks like some of you that are into crypto and cryptos, I believe you know how it looks like the trend. So it go down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up. That's the line chart showing you that okay, this goes up, this goes down, this goes up, this goes that's the pie, that's the line chart. It shows trend for you. So that trend that it will show to you, that's what pie chart, that's the data you use to represent pie line chart. Whenever you want to see it, it will show that to you and you'll see how it looks like. So by mere looking at the line chart, you will tell that, okay, this month you made more revenue than that month. This month you are down. This month you are up. This month you are this month you are that. All that, that what the line chart is all about. And based on your data, there are lots of data you use. That's why I told you this periodic data, data that has to do with period, is the data you use for line chart. So, for example, now you you take the date that you collected, that you did your survey. So you want to know how many participants you did per day. You can show that based on the line. You can show that in a trend of line chart. Okay, this day I did two, next day five, next day 30, next day two, next day four, next day. You see, by that it's just showing you the trend of the number of people you interviewed per day. It will show that to you because it's a what is a periodic data. So this is what this pie chart is all about. So this is it about this data visualization, and I'm going to take you through like 2 to 3 functions, not that much, because I know Ahmed is here also. Where is Ahmed? I don't know if Ahmed is here. Ahmed, are you here with us? Ahmed, I know you are here with us. Ahmed,
Yes, sir, I'm with you.
okay. Are you ready to continue? Because I want you to continue with them. Are you ready?
Okay, let me rejoin.
Rejoin what? Wait. Rejoin what?
I've joined with
With your phone, mobile phone.
yes,
No, just use
yes.
your laptop. Don't worry about rejoin. You can just open your laptop and join now. They can wait for
Okay,
you. They can wait for you
okay,
so you continue. I'm going to make you a host. So maybe I'll wait
okay,
after you rejoin. I'll make you a host. So please,
okay,
you take them through the functions that we missed, and also you
okay,
treated the conditional formatting. The
Okay.
count if, some if, count if, some ifs. I think that's four. Then with conditional formatting. Also, I think they're supposed to learn filter and sorting also. You discussed
Thought.
that. Yeah, because I don't want next week for us to have any leftover related to some of this, so that
What
next.
of the pivot table?
No, 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 no. It's not part of
Okay.
what we are going to discuss at all. It's not.
Okay.
It's not. Have they do, we did concatenate and text to column, right?
Yes.
It's okay. If we did that, then fine. Just you need to cover this, please. Cover this so that next week when we start the visualization, we are not going to waste much time.
Okay.
And they'll understand. So you have a lot to cover, I believe, even though it's not that much,
Yes.
but yeah. So I'm going somewhere. I have other things to attend to. So when you come back, just let me know. You don't need to unmute
Okay.
yourself. I'm muting myself. So when you come back, let me know. I'll make you host. Then you take it
Okay,
from
sir.
there and you continue, please. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
And if you have a question, please, you can send your question in the chat. If you have any question related to this that we discussed, so that maybe the class will not be that, what do we call it? The class will not be, you will not wait much longer. But Amma will be here very soon to take over. I don't know why you are asking me this question. Can you get a recording in the airless time? My brother, I have a lot of things to do. If you are not here, you miss it. That's all. I never promise anybody this recording. Please stop asking me about recordings. Please, please, please. I said if you have question, you drop your question. And someone is asking me, can I ask question? Please drop your questions. I'm going. Ahmad just joined, and I have some other things to attend to. So I'm leaving this class. So Ahmad will respond to you. You are asking me, can you ask question? Well, I am the one that asked you to ask your question. Ahmad is joining now. He's in the waiting room. So I'll just make him host. Maybe he will answer your question.
Okay, so good evening once again. We are going to talk about the most important formulas uh, that you need for your analysis. We will talk about, let me just write down the formulas. We'll talk about count F, count if some if some ifs, then filter, then sort. I don't know. Did we talk about concatenate the other time? Please. Did we talk about concatenate and text to column the other time? Let me see in the comment section. Okay. So these are what we are going to cover for tonight. This is what we are going to cover. Um, I think I will have to start with sort and filter. I will have to start with sort and filter. Good. For the filter, I think for the filter, that is the first thing you do when you should do whenever you are doing your analysis. The first thing when you are given a data, the raw data, the first thing you should do is filter it so that to have an overview about the data and see how far you can go. Let me filter this data so that we have an overview. Once you filter the data, you can say that yeah, you have this mistake that there might be mistake somewhere here. You can detect some discrepancies as soon as you filter the data. Let's filter the data. Yeah, filter. Good. So like this, I filter it. So you see for the countries, I'm having three unique countries. We have Cameroon, Nigeria, and Uganda. These are the three unique countries I'm having. You see, this is an overview. Then for this one now in Nigeria, we have this states. You can see this is an overview. We have these states. So and all the states. Okay, the data was already cleaned, but you might find for the entry, some might find Zampara State, for instance, some might find Zampara, some might make spelling mistake while writing Zampara. So if you filter it, you will see all the unique values and you get to know the mistakes that other people had made, and you can go ahead and correct it simply. Then for the LGA also, if we filter it, you can see the LGAs we have Abakaliki, these and that. There are a lot of them. So you can just have overview on them. You see this one, Gusu, Gusau, Gombe LGA. So like for this one, Gombe and Gombe LGA, they are almost the same thing. I think they are the same thing. So you can go ahead and filter them and see even this what do you call it? This Gusu and Gusau. I think they are the same thing. So you see someone is writing yes. You see someone is writing yes. So you see this is just like an overview that you are going to have. So you see like this one that wrote yes, you can filter and see, yeah, who is this person that wrote yes? Let me go to see. Let me go down and see. So you see this person that wrote yes. I can simply filter and see who is this person that wrote yes. So you see, um, so now we don't know his local government. Actually, someone is raising hand. I don't know. Please, do you join with phone or your laptops? Let me reshare the screen again. Please, can you see the screen now? Can you see the screen? Can you see this? Okay, thank you. Thank you. You can see the screen now. Good. So as I was saying, I don't know where do you missed? Where did you missed? Okay, I think we can continue from, okay, from the beginning. Okay, so let me come back to it again. Good. So as I said earlier, I don't know if we miss from the beginning. I think I will have to start recording because we were having difficulty while editing it. Oh, I believe you will do that. Okay, so as I said, we are going to talk about filter, sort, then we are going to talk about count if, sum if, and sum ifs. So now let's start with the filter. Let me clear everything. So you see, this is our normal table with full name, country, state, LGA, highest qualification, and computer literacy level. There are a lot of data, so I choose to select these some data that are not that much sensitive, so that for the privacy of those that have the data. So now, as you can see, this is the list of our what do you call it, of our um, participants. So we want to see how far we can get overview about the data. So once we filter the data, you can simply have overview about it, and you can simply detect some errors if there are errors. And take notes whenever you are having, whenever the data you are the from your entry, whenever you validate your entry, so the tendency of you having errors is very minimal. Like for this one, the you have already we have already validated the computer literacy level to intermediate, beginners, and experts. So we are not expect to have any discrepancy inside this column. For this column qualification, also, we are not expected to have any discrepancy because we already validated the data. But for the state and the LGA and even the country, we are expected to have the discrepancy because we didn't validate the data to be selected. Rather, it should be typed. So we are expected to have discrepancies in these four data. So now for the country, the data is already cleaned. We already cleaned the data. It's not the raw data. I'm just giving example. I'm supposed to give you example with your own data, but um, I'll just go directly to use this. You see, we have three countries. This is a brief overview that we have three countries. We have Nigeria, Cameroon, and Uganda. So we know Nigeria might be the highest populated. Then we can simply filter those two countries, that is Uganda and Cameroon. And for the state also, you see for the qualification, you see. So this is a brief overview concerning the country. Let me refilter it. Then for the state also, you can filter it and see we have different states. We have Abia, Abuja, Adamawa, Anambra, Bauchi, Borno, Taraba, Yobe, Zamfara. So you see, these are the states. We all have these states. Um, so I have told you I've cleaned the data, but had it been we haven't cleaned. Okay, you see, like this, I've seen Gusau somewhere here. So you see, this Gusau is not a state. Gusau is not a state. So anybody that wrote Gusau, we know he might have made mistake. Instead of writing Zamfara, he wrote Gusau. So we can go ahead and correct it to Zamfara automatically. As I've told you, it's this filter is among the first things we do when we want to start cleaning the data. Once you are given the data, the first thing you are expected to do after everything is to start filtering and see where the mistakes are. Because once we filter the data, you can see a lot of mistakes that might have been done. So you see, you filtered this one. You see Port Harcourt also is not a country, is not a state. Rivers is the state. So like this, there you can go ahead and keep filtering and see all the mistakes and get to correct them. So that is the function of filter, for you to have an overview and see what you can do about it. Let's say I want to filter only Zampara, only candidates from Zampara. All I have to do is just select like this. These are, if I choose another state, maybe let's say Anambra. You see this, so I can go ahead and choose. Maybe I can choose to, let's say, Anambra, Bauchi, and Borno. I want to see people from these three states. So you see, these are the people from Anambra, Bauchi, and Borno. So that is the function of filter. You can filter as many as you want. You can also filter for local governments. You see, we have different local governments. We have Chukun, Dambata, Damatu, Fika, Faskari, Gezawa. So you see this Gusau, as I was saying, this Gusau and Gusu, I think they are the same thing. He made mistake. But let me not temper with it since I'm not confident enough that it was a mistake. So you see, for this Nasarawa now, it's the same thing. You see someone is writing Naibawa. Naibawa is Naibawa a local government? Naibawa is not a local government. It's an area, I think, in, what do you call it? In Tarauni, somewhere in Kano State. So let's go to Nasarawa. So you see this Naibawa, Nasarawa, Nasarawa LGA, Nasarawa local government. You see, these are all these three are discrepancies, and if you didn't clean them, you are going to have an issue because now let's say you are looking for people that are in Nasarawa in Nasarawa as a local government. So you let me filter it. Let me filter it first. So you see this and this, or this Nasarawa with double S and this Nasarawa with single S are supposed to be counted in the same place. And this Nasarawa LGA and this Nasarawa local government, they are all in Nasarawa as LGA. They are supposed to be counted in the same place. But if you didn't filter them, you will have an error because they are not in the same, they will not be in the same place. You have to correct the spelling mistake. So I will just copy it and wherever I see Nasarawa, that is inconsistent, I will just paste it so that I will have the same values of Nasarawa. Oh, sorry. Let me filter the Nasarawa again. I don't know. Do we have Nasarawa in Kano? Naibawa Municipal Nasarawa. So all these Nasarawa are in Kano State. All these Nasarawa, Nasarawa. This one should be Tarauni. So now let me copy this. You see this one is a mistake. You're supposed to write it like this. Okay, I don't know. We have Nasarawa LGA. I know in Kano we have Kopa Nasarawa, but I don't know if we have Nasarawa as LGA. But since they wrote it, it means there is Nasarawa. Okay, so you see, these are all LGAs in Kano State. Same thing as LGA, Nasarawa, Nasarawa. So now let's refilter again and see if we are going to have the same mistake. And another thing, if you want to know which column did you filter, you see this one is okay, just an arrow. This one is okay, just like an arrow. But you see this one that looks like a funnel is the one you have filtered. So you can go ahead and select all. Then let's. So you see now we have only one Nasarawa. All those other variations, we get rid of them automatically. So this is how you can go ahead and keep cleaning your data one after another. Just take your time and clean your data. And please don't be in hurry. Whenever you are cleaning your data, take your time. Even if it is hundred or millions of rows, take your time and clean it one after another. Because if you didn't clean it properly, you are going to have inconsistency in your analysis. So whatever the haste you are in, please make sure you've cleaned the data properly. So after having done this, then the next thing we should do is this. Um, so you see, this is ah BSc diploma, HND, MSc, NCE, non PhD, SSCE. Yeah. So you see, these are the unique values we have. So I can go ahead and say, who is this one that is having primary school certificate? So you see, we have These people, they only have primary school certificates. There are five of them. And also for PhD, I can say, who are those people with PhD that failed the this thing? Oh, let me not filter them for a purpose. I will not filter those with PhD. So this is how you can filter whatever you want to filter. Um, I think by this I did justice to this filter. For beginners also and experts, you can go ahead and say, let's see how many experts do we have, how many beginners do we have, and how many this we have. So these are the experts we have. These are their details and what have you. So, okay, someone is in the way. So this is how you can keep filtering the data one after another. Um, Now the next thing is sort. The next thing is sort. I want to sort the list. Maybe I want it to be in alphabetical order. So I will just come and say sort from A to Z. So I will say expand from the correct selection. So you see, this is the lists. You see, it started from Abdullahi continuously. It started from Abdullahi. Okay, hold on. Let me see something. Okay, let me sort again. I will sort from A to Z. So I will sort from A to Z. Hold okay, it doesn't select the first one. So let me select the whole table like this. Yes. So I will sort it from A to Z. Good. So this is how it's supposed to be from A to Z. It consider this as the header. It consider this first one as the header. I will sort it from A to Z like this. Good. So now you see we have Abdullahi, Muhammad, Abdul Mumin, and what have you. So these are the list. So these are the list of all the candidates we have, and we sorted them from your name. If you know your name is Zaharadin, you have to scroll down to the last one before you can check your name. So this is how you can ease the sorting so that you can simply access your name instead of just sending it, leaving the data to have random order. So now, the next thing after the sort is we are going to talk about these formulas: count if, sum if, count if, sum if, and sum ifs. So now let's start with count if. Let's start with count if. Let me tell you something. When you are given a data, you want to extract a lot of tables. How are you going to extract the tables? If you want to extract the tables, consider the columns you are given. For now, I was given like how many columns? One, two, three, four, five, six. So now I'll pick on my categorical data that have a lot of different values like states, LGA, highest qualification, and computer to compare. um, I'll count the total number of what do you call it? I'll count the total number of uh participant in each state. Then after having done that, this one will be too much. So I'll count the total number of participants by highest qualification. Then I'll count the total number of participants by computer literacy level. You see, I have three tables now. Then I'll come back again. I will compare the um, state of origin with the highest qualification. I'll compare the state of origin with computer literacy level. Then after I'm done with that, then I'll go ahead and compare the qualification highest qualification with computer literacy level. So at this point, I have more columns, maybe let's say gender, marital status. So I will keep comparing. I will say highest qualification by marriage, highest qualification by gender, highest qualification by this, highest qualification by that. So after I'm done with the highest qualification, I'll move to the computer literacy level. I will say computer literacy level by marriage, by marital status, computer literacy level by this, computer literacy level by that. So that is how you can populate as much table as you want. With you see that with the small data you have, you can populate up to maybe 20 to 30 columns. So now let's start with this state of origin. Now, these are the total number of 7. Let me make them unique. Let me make them unique. I'll just come here and paste them. Then after I paste them, I'll go to data. Then I will remove the duplicate values. So you see, these are the states we are having. We have, how many states do we have? So you see, we have 46 states, which is impossible. So there are some states that we've repeated or we've made mistake. You see, like this Inugu, there is something wrong with it. So you see, that is the disadvantage of not cleaning the data very well before you start. You see, there is mistake in this Inugu. You see, I gave space. You see, there are too much space between this and that. So we'll go ahead and we'll fix the problem. Or let's just fix the problem now and copy it again. We'll do is just let's trim the data. I'll say is equals to trim. Then I'll go ahead and yeah, I'll trim the data. Then I will copy it again. Then I'll paste the values. Okay, I will delete this the duplicate values and see how many states am I going to have now. Then I will go to remove duplicates. So you see, I have 38 states. You see, only that formula that I use in 3 minutes, only that formula that I use in 3 minutes. Now it gave me perfect answer. So you see, I have 38 states. There are 2 states that are not from Nigeria. There is Kampala, Uganda, and Cameroon. So that's what makes 36 states. So these are the 36 or 38 states we have that apply. Okay, wait, Zamfara is the header. Good. So now you see we have 37 states, including Abuja FCT. So now I'll copy the state and paste like this. Now, the next thing I will do, I will apply count if formula. Count if formula. So I will say is equals to, then I'll write count if, then I will highlight this. This is the starting point and this is the ending point. Then I'll say comma. Then, sorry, before I say comma, I will have to lock my formula. I believe we did this. So I'll have to lock this. Then I will hit enter. So you see for Kaduna, we have 77 respondents in Kaduna. Then I will drag. You see we have, these are the distribution of states we are having. You see some states we are having 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So have, I don't know, are we still on filter? Of course. So you see, these are the total, um, sorry. Yeah, so these are the total number of states we are having. Kaduna have 77, Zamfara have 91. Let's see for Kano. Kano. So you see Kano have the total number of 140 respondents. So Kano is the highest. So this is how you can apply count if. Let's do this for LGA because the values are too much. Let's do the same thing for our qualification and see. I don't know, please, are we together? So my Kano people, they are saying Nasarawa is LGA Kano. Okay, I recall Open Nasarawa. So yeah, okay. So um, let me copy the qualification. Let me copy the qualification. Then I will come to this also. I will paste it. Duplicate values. I will remove the duplicate values by clicking on data. Then I'll click on remove duplicates. So we have these are the unique values we are having. And I will apply the sort formula that we have just finished. Yeah, let me sort them. I will sort them. Let me custom the sorts. This one not from A to Z. I will sort it. Hold on. I will sort it by this. Yes. Sorry, it's sub. Okay. let me say number of states. Oh, okay, number of respondents. Okay, so let me sort it again. Yeah, sort. I'll custom the sort. Then I will say by number of respondents. Then I will say from largest to smallest. So you see, we have Kano. Kano is the highest. So normally, if you want to, after having done applying the count A, please, you have to sort it so that you see who is the highest, followed by the next. And even if you did your charts, it will look more good. It will look more better than if you just did it the other way without sorting it. So that is for count A. Now, the next thing is, let me paste the qualification. Here, I will say analysis of respondent by qualification. So I'll just let me match it like this. Let me wrap the text. I couldn't wrap the text. So this is analysis of respondent by qualification. Good. So this is the analysis of respondent by qualification. Now let me move to analysis of respondents. Sorry, analysis of respondents by states. So now analysis by qualification. Good. So analysis of respondent by qualification. Now let's see how it goes. Let me read it. This is the qualification here. Number of respondents. So if then yeah, this is the qualification column. So I will highlight it from the starting point to the end point. Then I will lock it. Then I'll click on comma, add in with this qualification. Sorry, I didn't explain. This is the range. The first one is the range. Which range are you counting? I'm counting the range of our qualification, which is from E2 to E598. Then I'll put comma. Then after putting the comma, then I'll put criteria. Now, what am I counting? I'm counting the people with diploma inside that column. So wherever it's diploma inside that column, it will count it people. If I drag the formula, now the next all of them. Okay, let me drag it to the last. So you see, the second one is comparing from E2 also. The first one is E2 to E598. The second one is also E2 because we are comparing the same range but different criteria. The criteria is BSc, which is M575. Then here is M576, which is NCE continuously up to the last one, which is none. That is um, M582. So this is how you can analyze the qualification by, sorry, how you can analyze the number of respondents by qualification. Then the next thing is analysis of respondents by computer literacy level, analysis of, so I will say um, maybe computer. So we have three categories. We have beginners, intermediate. This one we don't have to do remove duplicates. But if you have a bunch of different categorical data, you can do remove duplicate to get rid of the experts. Let's see expert, beginner, intermediate. Let's see any expert. Okay, there is this expert. Who is this expert? One expert. So this is an expert. Who is this? So there is this expert from Gombe. Let me see his name. Wow, Idris. So wow, Idris from Gombe. To see how far. Yeah. So yes. So this is an expert. Then I'll come here and do the same thing. I'll say count if. Then where is my range? My range is this from F2 to F598. So I will say F2 to F598. Then I will lock it. I believe we all know the reason why we are locking it because we don't want to lock it. It will change the range automatically. So hold on, sorry. C equals to count F. Then I will say from F2 to 598. Then I will just lock the formula. Then this is my range. Then I'll select on the criteria. Criteria is intermediate. Then I'll just hit enter. Like this, we have intermediate themselves automatically. We have 313 respondents that are intermediates and 240 respondents that are beginners. So this is how you can analyze your data one after another. So, and this is how you can do the count if. Then the next thing is the next thing is count ifs. The next thing is count ifs. So now let's go to the count ifs um criteria. Let's say you are for the first one, which is count if, you are comparing what respondents. Sorry, let's see. Uh-huh. So for the first one, which is count, if you are comparing with one criteria, you are saying respondents that have BSc, respondents that have diploma, respondents that have pairing. Now let's compare two variables. Let's say respondents that are, what do you call it? Respondents that have BSc and they are experts. Respondents that have BSc and they are experts. Okay, so respondent with BSc analysis of um, by qualification versus computer literacy. So now I'm comparing two things, the computer literacy and qualification. So now let me put my computer literacy, sorry, my qualification here, since it's the longer one. So I will say BSc like this. Let me copy it. Then I will paste it somewhere here. Then for this ones, let me copy it also. Then I will have to paste transpose. Immediate. Good. So you see now whatever value I have here are the total number of respondents that have diploma and they are intermediate level. Then this one are the diploma with beginner level. This one are expert with diploma qualification. This ones are BSc with intermediate level. This one are BSc beginners like this. So let's see how we can do it. This one you have two criterias. You have more than one criteria. The first one you are comparing the analysis. So I'll say is equals to count ifs like this. Then the first one I'll say criteria. My criteria is sorry, my criteria range is let's see the criteria range. I'm comparing the diploma. So the criteria range is qualification. The criteria range, sorry, is qualification. So I will lock it. So we are going to do so at first so that you understand what I mean. Then I will put comma. Then the next one is criteria. So which criteria are we on? We are on this criteria diploma. So I will select the diploma. Then I will put comma. Then the next criteria is computer literacy level. I'm comparing it also. So I will select it also. Then I will say comma. Then I will select this intermediate. Let me not lock it. So you see now we have 35 respondents. Please understand this. I know it's somehow tricky, but it's simple. We have 35 respondents that have diploma and their computer literacy level is intermediate. You see how we compared it. The first thing is from E2 to what do you call it? From E2 to E598. This is the column of qualification. That is what we are comparing in the first place. And the criteria is 0587. This is 0587, which is qualification. 0587. This is 0587, which is a qualification. Then the next thing is computer literacy level. So the computer literacy level, the column is column F. So from F2 to F598, then the criteria is in P. This is the criteria, which is in P586 in P586. Then we are going to do is to drag down, but we will have an issue because if we drag, we will have an arrows in some places. Let's see. I will drag it intentionally to have the arrows. Then I will tell you why we have the arrows. You see, it all gives us 0, 0, 0, and which is wrong. Why? Because this one now, the first one we are comparing, we are saying BSC, which is 0588. Yeah, this one is okay, 0588. But this one we are saying P587. The P587 is this 35. So we don't want this to be changing. This we want it to be P586, and we don't want it to be changing. So we have to lock it. Since we don't want it to be changing, now how are we going to lock it? Since we don't want it to be changing down, I will lock it by saying this. I will put the dollar sign somewhere here. Please, do you understand this? So now let me drag it. Let's drag it and see. So you see we have our perfect values. And let's compare them and see. Let's see something. Please, let's see something. Now, if you highlight this, we have total number of 333. You see the beginner, sorry, the intermediate at 333, which means our calculation is perfectly okay. Let me go to the comment section and see, please. Are we together? Yeah, we are together. That's very good. That's very good. I know we are together. It's not a big deal. Thank you very much. We are still together. Um, Now the next thing is for beginners. Beginners. Now for the beginners, I want to what do you call it? I want to drag across. But if I drag across, still I will have an arrow. I will have 0, 0, 0. You see, I have 0, 0, 0 because you see it says from E2 to E588 is perfectly okay, but it says P587 instead of O587. This is O587, and this is what we are comparing. This is O587. As you can see, this is what we are comparing, not P587. And even if we drag, we don't want it to be changing across. So how are we? Put the dollar sign in between O and the digits. I will put it before the O. I'll put it somewhere here. Then I'll just hit enter. So now I will drag this. So you see, I got my values. It means we don't have any experts. Is that possible to say we don't have any expert with diploma? So that's what it's saying. I don't have. So you see, this is what we have. Let me see. This one we have 24 experts. Yeah, our rest. So you see, for this one we have 240 beginners, and we have 240 beginners. So I think we are perfectly okay with this. So this is how we do count F. Please, do we understand this count F? Please, do we understand it? So I think, yeah, we understand it. I know it's simple, we can do it. So this is how you will keep doing it. This is for count apes when we are comparing more than two criterias. More than two criterias. I can say someone with diploma that is from Zamfara and he is an expert. Someone with diploma that is from Zamfara and he is from Gusau continuously. So you can keep challenging yourself with more than one criteria and see if you can do it. So now, good, good. So now, after having done this, the next is sum if and sum ifs. Sum if and sum ifs. So now for this sum ifs, I think let me use this. Let me use this. Now, thank God we are having digits. Let me use this. Okay, so I cannot use this. I will have to use something different. Um, So let's say, let me just add another value and name it as score. Then I will use run between and automatically generate some random values, let's say from 5 to 20. So good. So you see, this is the scores of all the respondents. Initially, so I've been using I've been doing the analysis using COUNTIF, very at the, what do you call it, downside of it to be very easier for us to understand. Now, this is the scope called the score of all the respondents in Kano State. We want to see the total, how many schools all of them have. Oh, say it is salary or income. Let's use money. I will multiply by 100. Oh, let me multiply by 1,000. And let me multiply by 1,000. And I'll drop down. Then I will see these two values. And I'll delete this. The dollar sign was, let me use, so I don't have to use the dollar sign, but let me not be too lazy. Let me just use the Naira sign. So you see, this is the Naira sign. Good. So now, okay, let me admit those that are in the way to me. Now let's say we want to know how much Kano State people are generating. Let's say income. So now we want to know the total income of Kano State people, or each and every state. We want to know their income. Let me copy all the states we have. So these are the states we have. These are our states income generated. Oh, let me see. Good. So now I'll say is equals to sum F. Then, so for this one, I will highlight the range first. I will highlight the range first. So I will say from C2 to, then I'll click on this Kano State like this. Then I'll hit enter. Sorry, sorry. So after having clicked on this, you see, this is the, what do you call it? This is the um, range, call it. This is the range of criteria you want to maybe state, or you want to see with BSc or something. So this is the range. Then the criteria is kind of state. Sorry, I've missed one parameter. I'll have to put comma, then the sum range. What am I going to sum? I want to sum their income. So I want to sum the income of all the Kano State people. So let me lock it. So now I'll hit enter. So you see Kano State generated this amount of money. Let me see how much is this. So you see Kano State generate 1.7 million naira. So now I will drag the rest. So you see Zamfara generates, if you want to know how much each and every person generated, instead of you to be going and checking them one by one and saying Kano State, this Kano State, Zamfara State, this, you keep counting. No, you just use the sum if and have your total value. Now, the next thing is, okay, let's do it again. Let's do the same thing for qualification. I have BSc. Let me go and copy the qualification. Yeah, let me go ahead and copy. This is the qualification. So now I will say qualifications. These are the qualifications. I paste them. So I will say qualification. So now I will say income generated. I will say is equals to sum if. Then where is my range? For qualification, this is my range. I'm starting from here. Then I will lock it like this. Then I will put the comma. Then I will select the diploma. Then I'll put the comma again. Then I will select the sum range. My sum range is always from G2 to G598. Then I will lock it, and so you see this is what I have. Let me put the Naira sign also. So you see this is the Naira sign. I put in the Naira sign. The diploma people generated 1,065,000. Now let me drag down. So you see the SSC people, or the BSc generated the highest amount of money, which is 3.6 million naira, or 3.699 million naira. So that is for sum F. Now the next thing is sum Fs. So for the sum Fs, it have multiple criteria, the same thing as we did in count F. So it has multiple criteria. Maybe I say I want to know the amount of money generated by people with diploma, that are expert, people with diploma that are intermediate, people with diploma that are these, people with diploma that. So let me copy the table. I see. Let's copy the table. Sorry. So I think this is the table. So let me just paste it somewhere here. Then I will paste, let me copy the qualification also. So now I want to know how much amount of money is generated by a given qualification and computer literacy level. I want to compare the qualification and computer literacy level and see how some ifs like this. So now I will start with the sum range. I will start with the sum range first. We used to start with what do you call it? We used to start with the criteria range. So now we are starting with the sum range. So this is the sum range from G to G598. That one is constant. Then I will select the criteria range. Please understand it. Don't be confused. After you selected the sum range, then you start criteria range one. What is your criteria range one? I'm comparing qualification. This is my criteria range one, log 8, then I'll put comma, then I'll put my criteria, which is diploma, like this. So I will explain it here at once. If I drag down, I want it to be changing. But if I drag across, I don't want it to be changing. Please understand this. If I drag down, I want it to be changing. So I will not lock the one. But if I drag across, I don't want it to be changing. So now, if I don't want it to be changing, sorry, if I want it to be changing down, I will do this. I will lock the P, not the numbers. I will lock the P, not the numbers, because I want it to be changing down, but I don't want it to be changing across. If I said across, I mean, instead of P, it will go to, if I drag it will go to Q instead of P. So now I've locked this. The perfect way I should lock this, I've done that. Then I'll put, say, comma. Then um, the next thing is computer literacy level. That is the next range. So I will highlight it like this. Then I will lock it. I will lock the range entirely. Then I'll put comma. Then the next thing, this one now, I don't want it. If I drag down, I don't want it to be changing. But if I drag across, I want it to be changing. That is to say Q3, R3, S3. But if I drag down to say Q2, I'll put the dollar sign in between. That is before the number. This one, I put the dollar sign before the alphabet, which are my columns. But this one, I put the dollar sign before the numbers, which are my rows. So it's like be changing, but I want the rows to be changing. But for this one, I don't want sorry, the reverse is the case. So let me just hit enter. Oh, sorry, I said the vice versa instead of saying the reverse, it's the vice versa. So I'll just put the dollar sign like this. So you see for diploma, I have 497,000. Now I will drag like this, then I will drag down. Diploma, we have 197,000 here. We have BS, we have 2.4 million that are intermediate. They generated 2.4 million. Here they generated 1.8. So this is for some ifs. The same thing for some ifs, you can go ahead and keep giving more than one. Once it is more than one criteria, you can go ahead and keep doing it. You can say maybe someone with BSc that is intermediate and he's from Kano State. Someone with a BSc that is intermediate and from Kaduna State. So you see, by this, it means you can create 100 or more than 100 tables. Because for now, if I said I just want people from Kano State, so I will say Kano, then I will say analysis of qualification by literacy level in Kano State, then I will say analysis of qualification by literacy level in Zamfara, in Kaduna, in Abuja. I'll keep creating multiple tables. Here also the same thing. I can keep creating multiple tables. So this is how you can generate as many tables as you want, so that you have a lot and you have enough insight about the data. So I think this one also we did justice to it. This sum if. So now we did sum ifs, count if. We did filter. We did sort. So we already said we did concatenate and text to column, and which I believe yes we did it. So I don't know. Is there any question? Please, is there any question? If there is any question, please you can go ahead and ask your question. This one is beyond my power. I cannot extend anything. I don't have power to extend anything. You can route your complaint through the appropriate people that are responsible for that. Go through your class rep, contact your class rep, and then you contact the person responsible for that. Please, is there any question? Is there any question? How can I paste the data horizontally? If you copy it vertically, you can just come, let me just do it so that you can see it. If you copy the data like this is vertical, right? So you want to paste it horizontally, you come to where you want to paste it, then you click on this, then you see this one, we call it paste it horizontally, and reverse is the case. Please, is there any question? Is there any question? Okay. So I think um if there is any question, due to the absence of any question, I think we can call it a day. Thank you very much for listening. Have a wonderful night.